Okay, continuing on with Module 4, we got Section 4.2, Service Catalog, major components of it, Service Catalog security, like we had security for our knowledge base as well. Similar concept here. We can have multiple knowledge bases with user criteria. We can have multiple catalogs with user criteria.
Okay.
So first of all, what is the Service Catalog? Ever do any online shopping?
Never.
Never? Well, then this is going to be new to you.
No, I'm kidding. Absolutely. Yeah.
So one spot where our employees can go ahead and order new equipment, new services, new access.
A new iPhone, maybe.
A new Android, probably, yes. So, and we also have access to the service desk to help in training, and multiple catalogs, multiple knowledge bases, multiple catalogs.
So like it says, kind of a one-stop shop, right?
Exactly.
Where you can go to do just about anything.
Is configured to be absolutely anything in our platform, because one of the main parts here is a record producer. Not making music, but it is producing a record on any task type table, right? So with task is the base class, any record out there, any table out there. Items, I would say there are lots of items, right? That's your new iPhone, my new Android, new computers, right? So all those different items. Variables helping us to define that item. Your new iPhone, what's the sizes it's coming out with, right? Like different color, if it's the large format or not, right? So those are variables.
So it's just it allows you to customize, right? To change your order. That's what a variable. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Instead of having to create a particular item for all of those different options, one item with those options on it.
That makes sense.
And variables can be grouped into sets. If you have a common set of questions that apply to the 4 or 5 different computer models. Do you want another monitor, right? And then we can just bring those variable sets into an item instead of defining them individually again and again.
Instead of having to recreate them.
So we're back to the idea of creating something once and reusing it again.
There is that theme in ServiceNow.
There's definitely a theme there. Workflows, not technically a part of the service catalog, but definitely what runs behind the scenes to progress through these different tasks to get items delivered, get new access granted, whatever the workflow is defined to do.
Okay. And you said we have a whole separate section coming up on that.
Coming up next.
Oh, okay, good.
So from our service catalog, what the output is. Record producer, inserting a record into a table somewhere, right?
Right, so we can use a record producer to create any kind of a record.
Correct.
Okay.
So from here, we could go ahead and have it go out to a change request. Doesn't have to be a requested item.
Okay.
But yeah, the catalog items, the main building blocks, right, of our service catalog. Catalog items become requested items, RITM records.
Okay.
If we group those requested items together, it's a request. So one request can have multiple requested items, and then those requested items all have their 1, 2, 4, 10 different tasks to get those items completed.
Okay, like I said earlier, like I might have a request for a new external monitor and a new laptop, right? So those would be 2 separate items that belong to the request.
Exactly.
And then the tasks associated with provisioning them might be different.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And those different items have different workflows, right?
Okay, got it.
The laptop is going to have to be configured. The monitor is going to be plugged in. So that's what we're looking at here, where we have the example of a standard desktop and a notebook. Those are the 2 items. And those items have different catalog tasks. SC for service catalogs. SC task.
Oh, that's right. You said service catalog is extended from the task table. That's right.
And you like the naming convention.
I do.
So here we see 1 request, 2 requested items, and in our example, they only have 2 tasks apiece, 2 catalog tasks. Maybe there's more, but for the sake of real estate on our screenshot, there's 2.
Sure, I'm sure there's a lot more.
Yeah,
provisioning a new laptop.
And so once those catalog tasks are marked as complete, it's going to roll up and mark the requested item as complete.
So the workflow is what's creating our are tasks down below.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Stages. We can go ahead and define these different stages based off of the table that we're pulling from. We can also go ahead and create them individually on our items. So we have a default for the requested item table. Do we want to use it? Do we want to use it and customize it? And these are defined by whoever leads doing the admin work to create these things. We see in our screenshot here how it says 2 days, 2 days, 4 days. That's not a timer in our workflow. That's not driving anything in the workflow, which is a question I get sometimes.
Okay.
It's us giving it a label so that our end users, this is an end user view we're looking at here.
Oh, so this is, if I was requesting whatever this is, a new laptop or whatever, I could go into ServiceNow and see exactly what the status is of my order without having to call the service desk.
Without having to call the service desk.
Oh, I like that. So that's what the stage is used for,
to communicate out to our end users.
Oh, okay, great. And you said that is set up in workflows as well?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
We do have a default per table if you want to use it, but yeah, we set it up in workflow individually.
Okay.
Maintain items. Service catalog. I did mention that typing in service with admin rights in the application navigator leads to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Maintain items is the module we want to go to maintain, create, update our items that are out there for request.
So like our laptop or our external monitor or
exactly.
Our external
Android
speaker.
Phone.
Yeah. You like that Android phone,
I do. And that's where we can go ahead and list our variables with those items, those different options.
The choices.
The choices.
And are there a lot of choices when it comes to choices?
There are.
Look at that.
5 common types here. Multiple choice, select box, reference.
Like a reference
Like
field?
a reference field.
Oh.
Back out to somewhere else.
Excellent, okay.
Personal favorite, free text. Letting people put in whatever they want. Variable sets. All right, so this is just grouping these together. So we can go ahead and bring them and reuse them.
Okay.
Display sequence.
So you just create the variable and you add it to a set? That's all you do?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then we can use that set wherever we may want to.
Okay. So it makes it, well, like it says, modular, I guess. Yeah.
And our display sequence, 100 comes before 200. 200 comes before 300. We want to go ahead and use 100, 200, 300 so that we can go ahead and, if we need to later, add in something 150.
Oh, between them.
Without having to re-sequence everything else.
Okay. So it just dictates how something displays on the screen.
That's what it is.
First, second, third, or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you don't want to give yourself the room later, go ahead and use 1, 2, 3. But then knowing you may have to update everything
But
else.
if I had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I wanted to put something between 1 and 2,
you'd have to reorder everything
so
after.
I don't think I'll ever use a single number. I could use like 10s, right? Like
10s,
10,
you
20,
can use
30.
10s.
Okay.
We definitely want to move that significant value over to the left a little bit.
Sure. Okay.
Order guides. We do have order guides, so we can go ahead and put our items together through an order guide, have our people putting in the request answer a couple questions, and then give them the relevant items that they may need. Common one here, new hire, right? New hires are going to need accounts. They're going to need access. They're going to need
Business
new hardware,
cards.
business cards.
A cubicle.
Exactly. So we can group all that together into an order guide for a new hire, and then the hiring manager says, well, Mike is going to keep his phone, so he doesn't get a new phone. This person is getting a cubicle or an office. Right? So grouping those together and then filling out the variables for the items that are needed.
So it's kind of just a virtual, well, not virtual, it is really just a grouping together of items.
Correct.
Okay, that's nice. But it makes it a lot easier for like a hiring manager.
Absolutely.
Because it's just like one click, I guess, and they just fill out a few things. So that's called an order guide. Okay.
Order guide.
Great.
User criteria, looking similar.
Isn't that the same? It's the same.
Yes, it
That's
is.
what we looked at knowledge.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm loving this service now and reuse.
Learn it once, use it again
That
and
is
again.
great. Yeah, absolutely. So at work, field functions the same?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yep. Users, groups, companies, departments. So, yeah, we're in IT. we can order new servers, new racks.
Sure.
Our end users, they don't need that.
No.
But we all have access to order new laptops.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense.
So let's go ahead and take a look at the service catalog here, shall we? Service cat gets us to our service catalog. Yes, we see it right here. Notice it's under self-service, though. That's where we would go if we wanted to use it.
So if I was an end user, that's what I would see. Mm-hmm. I see. Okay, so that's different than the application service catalog.
Correct.
Which contains the
modules for configuration.
I'm getting it.
So we'll just go ahead and minimize that one.
Sure.
This is where we want to focus.
Oh, there's a lot of items in there.
There's a lot of items in the service catalog.
Or modules, I should say, right?
Lots of modules, good. Yes, quite a few in here.
Oh, there's user criteria. I saw
User
that.
criteria.
I'm sure we won't be going through all of the modules, but I'm sure there's things that I should probably take a look at.
Yes, properties here being one of those. We have scriptable order guides, right? So getting back into scripting things, if we want to go that route with it. So other options in here.
Okay.
But yeah, order guides, we want to go ahead and get in there. Maintain, I think I said was the big one, right? Maintain gets us to our big three. So that's the whole service catalog by starting to type in service catalog. We go to maintain catalogs, maintain categories, maintain items.
There you go.
Our big three that we were just talking about here. So we'll start with catalogs. Technical service catalogs, we can create new. So this is like the knowledge base to draw
Where
that
we have
parallel.
like an HR and IT.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So, and we could have as many catalogs as we want.
I could hit this new button again and again.
Or again, I could just have one.
Yep.
Okay, good.
So let's go ahead and get into our technical catalog. Products and services for the IT department. Desktop image, editors, manager. So who has rights to do things in this catalog? The items that are requested, the categories or our category structure here.
It looks very similar to knowledge.
Very. Let's go ahead and take a look at an item, shall we?
Sure.
I'm going to jump past categories because we do see categories right here. These are the categories associated with this catalog.
Sure.
So maintain items.
Like categories might be like hardware or software.
Within IT, yes.
Okay.
Because we also see them here on our item
there
list.
There we go, sure.
So what catalog it's in, what category it's in.
Okay.
Apple iPad 3. We'll go ahead and get an iPad 3.
Speaking of needing to be updated.
Yes. So here we're looking at an item. What workflow we're talking about here. So the workflow associated to the item, what catalog and category it's in, price, recurring price, just some general information here.
Well, and that's what you said earlier, right? The workflow is associated with the catalog item.
Correct.
And so that's where you make that association.
Right here on the item itself.
Nice.
The workflow's already created.
Sure.
Which we'll get into in our next section.
Sure. But if I ever needed to create a new one, that's where I would do that. Okay.
Absolutely.
Good.
So we have then just, information about it here in our main field of text. Down below, we have variables. If we wanted to bring in some of those variables, again, what category and catalog it's in.
Okay.
So here, we can actually associate an item in more than one catalog, in more than one category. Whereas with knowledge, an article is in one knowledge base, in one category.
Oh, so it can't belong to multiple.
Right. Here you can. So here, whatever categories we're in, I can update this to a newer model, a newer price, and it will update throughout those categories.
Okay.
So that is one difference between the two.
That is different. Okay.
Any questions?
Do I get to create one?
You do.
I do.
For our infinity.
All right.
So So that's what the service catalog is. Items. So typing in maintain gets us to our big three. Maintain catalogs, maintain items, maintain categories. Record producers, inserting a record into a table somewhere. Workflows we'll touch on more in the next section.
Okay.
So yeah, in this lab, we're going to create an infinity service catalog item.
All right. And I should already have any files that I need, right?
Yes, if any files needed, would go ahead and pull down from where this recording got started from.
Great. Sounds good. All right, I'll give it a try and I'll let you know how it goes. Hey, where can I order one of those items that I just created? I want an Infinity device.
You can put the order in as many times as you want in the instant you created it.
It's not going to go too far, is it?
No, I don't think so.
No, I like Catalog. It's very straightforward. I can see though where it could be a little time consuming if you had hundreds or more items.
Absolutely, there can be some maintenance going on with this, and that's why we go ahead and have those specialized admin roles to help.
Right, exactly. That's a good point. So you can kind of distribute responsibilities. Okay.
I mean, if you had to maintain the knowledge base and the service catalog and do admin work, you'd be a very busy man.
Very busy, very busy. No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you.